when my neighbor and I said, well, let's just get some beavers in here, and let them do it, I began pursuing an understanding of why it wasn't happening naturally. And I learned a lot. The West was first explored by beaver trappers. The Hudson Bay Company and private trappers came out and en masse removed hundreds of thousands of pelts out of the various watershed basins. The Umpqua Basin, in the year 1825, I believe it was the last banner year that trapping took place in the Umpqua Basin, and it was something to the tune of 40,000 pelts. That was the least productive year as far as trappers were concerned. Prior to that, they were taking them out by the hundreds of thousands. Out of each basin, there were millions of beavers in every aspect of the watershed. And they were just summarily extracted. And not long after that, because their structures are not made of more permanent materials, those beaver dams caved. We began to see the incising into the streams, into the banks, and there's a significant difference between what the trapper saw when they arrived into this area and what the pioneer saw some 40 years later. The dynamic of change was so profound because these creatures were taken out of the mix. And that is really important to understand the context, because I think our fisheries issues are directly related to the relationship between the salmonids and the trout with these beavers. Water temperature. So many factors are connected to the issue of having this component brought back into the management of our watersheds. Now, I understand it's never going to go back to what it's been, but there are non-lethal management techniques that are being used by New Mexico, by Colorado, by Minnesota to address that, so that the interface is not so radically stark between our lifestyles and the natural processes that built up the land and attracted us to it in the first place.
So you were saying that any kind of need to restate my statement.
Okay.
Camera, because you're mic'd up. You're saying that they're now classified as a predator, for one.
All right.
And we need a strong close for how people can take action, get engaged, learn more.
Okay.
And you might want to mention your website.
I will. A couple of websites, actually, or people. One of the most astounding aspects of my cursory meander into understanding what's going on with the beavers. I mean, Oregon is the beaver state. This is a state animal. I was shocked to find out that the beaver is designated as a predator in the state of Oregon. Now, I've had some fine-tuning of that. I understand now the ODF&W has told me that they're not predator status in the wild. They're fur bearers to be trapped. But if they're on private land, they have predator status, which just blows my mind. That was a political maneuver to put them in a position of being managed with what I call the 50-cent solution. Go out and shoot it. Get rid of it. And I understand that's a tool. I think we need to be realistic. There's times when that has to happen. Unfortunately. It's just the way it is. But the reality is, I don't think non-lethal management has even come close to being accepted or considered as an option. And I think the reason for that is because that people do not understand the real benefit of this mammal in the ecosystem. So I think there's a component of a paradigm shift in our understanding. I mean, I'm a rancher. I'm a shepherd. That's what I do. I don't want my bottom land to disappear under the water, and yet at the same time I know that the connectivity between that stream and my land is enriching. So we just have to work with nature rather than just, we don't like it, eliminate it concept. I want to invite anyone to come to my website. It's www.singingfalls.com. It's huge. You can get lost in there. Go to the stream, and you'll get to see our Watershed project and all that. If you're interested in addressing issues relating to beavers, I highly recommend this email address. It's beavers@surcp.org. beavers@surcp.org. We've got a small group of people that are interested in moving forward and addressing the issues so that we'll have water when we need it.